What does the restaurant of your dreams look like? Is it a grand hall filled with dozens of tables, a waiting list a mile long, and critics raving about its every detail? We're often taught that to succeed, we must think big, dream bigger, aim for the stars. But what if the path to your grandest dream isn't a giant leap, but a single, tiny step? What if everything you ever wanted could be built on just one table? This is the story of Marina, a woman with a dream as big as a city skyline, who found her entire world in a tiny backyard. And her story might just change the way you look at your own dreams. Before we dive into Marina's incredible journey, if you believe in the power of small beginnings, make sure to subscribe to our channel. You won't want to miss the stories we share. For as long as she could remember, Marina's dream had a name: the Mariner's Feast. It wasn't just a restaurant, it was an empire, a three-story testament to her family's culinary history, a place where every meal was an event, every guest felt like royalty. In her mind, the scent of her grandmother's sea salt bread already filled the air. She could hear the orchestra of a busy kitchen, a symphony she was born to conduct.
Someday.
The dream was vivid. The passion was real. The recipes, passed down through generations, were perfect. There was only one problem. Dreams, especially the big ones, often come with a big price tag. And Marina's reality was a world away from the funding she needed. Every door she knocked on, every bank she applied to, gave her the same answer. Her vision was too ambitious, her collateral insufficient, her plan too risky for a first-time owner.
Marina, these drawings are incredible. Seriously, you could be an architect. But a three-story restaurant downtown with the math just isn't mathing.
It's about the experience, Leo. It has to be big to make an impact. People want spectacle. They want to go somewhere that feels important.
People also want food. You make the best pasta I've ever had in my life. Why can't you just, start a food blog or sell your sauces at the farmer's market? Start small.
No, you don't get it. It's not the same. The dream is the place, the whole atmosphere. Starting small feels like giving up on the real dream. It feels like settling.
This is a trap so many of us fall into. We have a vision so grand, so perfect in our minds that any step smaller than a giant leap feels like a failure. We convince ourselves that if we can't have it all right now, we should have nothing at all. And so, paralyzed by the gap between our reality and our dream, we do nothing.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it's just a silly dream.
The dream was now packed away, tucked into a sketchbook and shoved into the back of a closet. And with it, Marina's joy for cooking began to fade. The kitchen, once her sanctuary, now felt like a reminder of what she couldn't have. She felt lost, defeated by a dream that hadn't even gotten a chance to fail yet. And then she saw it. Not a restaurant, not an empire, just a table. It was nothing, really, a piece of forgotten furniture. But in that moment of surrender, a new thought began to whisper in her mind, a question that was much smaller, much quieter than the ones she had been asking.
What if I just cooked for 2 people? Not a restaurant, just dinner right here.
It was a crazy idea. Who would pay to eat in her messy backyard? It wasn't the Mariner's Feast. It was the opposite of it. It was small. It was simple. It was possible. And that one word, possible, was the first spark of light she'd felt in months. It was a hook pulling her out of her despair. She didn't have a business plan. She didn't have a loan. All she had was one table, 2 chairs, and the recipes that flowed through her veins. She poured all the love and attention to detail from her grand dream into this one tiny space. Every detail that she had planned for her 100-table restaurant, she now lavished on this single one. The perfect fold of the napkin, the freshness of the herbs, the polish on the silverware. Her first customers were a young couple celebrating their anniversary on a tight budget. They were hesitant at first, walking through her side gate into a simple backyard. They weren't in a fancy restaurant. There was no valet, no host stand, no wine list as thick as a book.
Welcome to the table. I'm so glad you're here.
And then the magic began. Marina serves them, but she doesn't just drop the plates and leave. She tells them the story of the dish, how the tomato sauce is her grandmother's recipe, how she picked the basil from the garden right next to them just an hour ago. The atmosphere is incredibly intimate and personal. The couple is captivated. They talk, they laugh. It feels less like a restaurant and more like a private dinner with a world-class chef.
This is the best meal I've ever had. It's not just the food, it's everything. It feels special.
We've been to fancy restaurants that don't feel half this special.
That night, Marina didn't just serve a meal. She served a connection. In her giant dream restaurant, she would have been a distant conductor in a chaotic kitchen. Here, at this one table, she was part of the story. She saw the smiles. She heard the laughter. This wasn't a compromise. It was something more. What she thought was a weakness, the smallness, the simplicity, was actually her greatest strength. Word of mouth traveled faster than any marketing campaign. The story of the secret one-table restaurant became a local legend. Getting a reservation at the table was like finding a golden ticket. It wasn't just about the food anymore. It was about the experience. An experience of intimacy and authenticity that no grand commercial restaurant could ever replicate.
A 6-month waiting list for your backyard? Marina, this is insane. I mean, it's brilliant, but it's insane.
I know. I just wanted to cook. I had no idea.
She had started small, not as a compromise, but as the only option. And in doing so, she hadn't given up on her dream. She had discovered a better one, a dream built on human connection, not square footage. But with great success often comes a great test.
Ms. Garcia, what you've created here is a phenomenon, a brand. The demand is through the roof. We want to partner with you. We want to give you what you've always deserved. We've secured the perfect downtown location, 150 tables, a full staff, the finest kitchen equipment money can buy. Your dream, fully funded, no compromises. What do you say?
And there it was. The dream she had mourned, the vision she had sketched in the lonely hours of the night was being handed to her on a silver platter. This was the moment she had been waiting for her entire life. This was everything she thought she wanted. Marina looks at the renderings. They're beautiful. Then her gaze drifts past the portfolio to the single oak tree, the simple fairy lights, the small herb garden. She thinks about the couple who got engaged, the father and daughter. She remembers their faces, their stories.
But looking at the glossy pictures of the huge, impersonal dining room, she didn't feel the thrill she expected. She felt a pang of loss. She realized the magic wasn't in the number of tables, but in the intimacy of having only one. The spectacle people wanted wasn't a grand hall. It was a genuine connection.
It's a beautiful offer. It truly is. It was my dream for a very long time.
But I think my dream has changed. Thank you, but my restaurant already has all the tables it needs.
Marina never built the Mariner's Feast. She didn't need to. Her small backyard, became her empire. She proved that success isn't always about scaling up. Sometimes it's about digging deeper. She started small because she had to, but she stayed small because she wanted to. Her story is a powerful lesson for every dreamer, every creator, every entrepreneur who is standing on the edge, looking at the vast distance between where they are and where they want to be. Don't let the size of your dream paralyze you. Don't wait for the perfect conditions, the big investment, the grand opening. Find your one table. What is the smallest, simplest, most achievable version of your dream that you can start today? Is it writing one page of your book? Sketching one design? Making one sale? Setting up that one table? Starting small is not a sign of weakness. It's a strategy of wisdom. It allows you to learn, to adapt, to connect with your purpose, and to build something real and authentic, one small step at a time. Because a small start is infinitely more powerful than a grand dream that never begins. What's the one table you can set up in your life this week? Share your first step in the comments below. Let's inspire each other to begin. And if Marina's story moved you, please give this video a like and subscribe to Stories to Grow for more tales that empower you to take that first step. Click the bell so you're always notified when a new story drops. Thank you for watching. Now go and find your table.